Welcome. Welcome, everybody out there. I hope you can hear me all right. I had to move my microphone. I had to create some space here. Welcome to, I guess, like an end of the year recap thing. I'm going to set up a new EDC bag, a new Vertex bag. I'm pretty excited about that. But also, I want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to ask any questions that you might want. You know what? I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Professional. I think you guys are incredible, and what we do here at TGC doesn't exist without you. So this is a two-way conversation tonight, and we're going to start off. The whole point of this is kind of like showing you guys my transition out of one EDC bag into another and answering some questions. So this is the bag I've been using. This is a Vertex Ready Pack. This is the Ready Pack, I think 2.0. It's like a couple generations old now. But this is the one I've been traveling with all the time, you know, like overnights to the range, etc. It's got some pockets here on the side, stuff in the front, little "this is fine" patch. And somebody stole my Grogu patch. I don't know where the hell that went. But this is the old bag, right? And this is the bag that just came out. It's a little bit smaller. This is the, Urban Ghost 20 liter. So there's two Urban Ghost bags. This is the larger of the two. And I thought it'd be fun if I could go through this, show you guys this bag, and show you how I'm going to set it up. And, you know, then we'll also take some questions. You know what? Let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with a question. Izzy, the editor, is actually in the stream helping. And he's going to grab one of these great questions, and I'm going to answer that while we start looking at this. Izzy, you want to pull one up for me, brother?
Yeah.
There we go. This is from James Grider. He says, hopefully this will get through. It did. Really trying to decide whether to go with the CR920P or one of the P365 comp versions with a similar grip length, wanting something lighter than the 320X carry. I honestly don't think you can go wrong with either one of those in terms of like what's out there. Both are good guns. It's really about form factor. Do you want like a Glock type gun, which is what the Shadow Systems CR920P is? Or do you want to go with the SIG? The SIG is a little bit more contoured, I think. Both are excellent. I think I would probably go with the 365, but that's because I enjoy that one a little bit more than a Glock type pistol. That's not saying, again, this is just a preference thing. I think the CR920P is a great gun. You really can't go wrong either way. And guys, if you have opinions in the comments, slam that down below. Okay, let's take a look at this Urban Ghost bag. So this is tan. I think you get it in like green, tan, and black. I don't know. This is probably like concrete or flat dark dookie. I don't know what the hell they call it. It's tan. So then let's see. On the bottom, it's this like waterproof material that I love that they do on some of their bags. This is like the abrasion resistant kind of thing. So like you're not going to screw it up when you put it down on the concrete or something like that. And this is a brand new bag. So that's why it's all like crinkly and folded up. So you've got some straps, some webbing here on both sides of the front, which is kind of cool. You could, you know, put a knife on there, you know, do one of these jobbies if you really wanted to. I'm not that type of person to keep gear just out in the ether. And one of my favorite features of the Vertex bags is this. The other bag that I had, they both have this like reinforced handle on the front of the bag. And I am very much like a grab it and go kind of thing. I very much like that. So yeah, that's kind of the front. And again, this is all that like abrasion resistant. It's meant to be like the whole ethos of what Vertex does is kind of like less the gray man nowadays, because that's like kind of beat to death, but it's more just being discreet. Urban Ghost is the name of the bag. So yeah. Izzy, let's take another question, brother. While Izzy's grabbing that, I'm going to flip this bag around and start getting it ready. There's straps and all kinds of shenanigans here. I actually like the chest straps. Let's see. These are not adjusted for me. Let's put it on and see if it fits. Yeah. Oh, watch me struggle. That's not that bad, actually. Oh, this is backwards. There we go. That's better. and then you kind of do this across your boobs. I'm going to school, guys. Okay. Let's see. I'm really interested in the 338 ARC ammo that has come out. We covered that on TGC News. That was cool. I want to suppress it with my rugged Alaskan 360. I believe that's a suppressor. What would be your ideal rifle setup for this cartridge? I don't have a good answer for that because I'm not familiar with the ballistics. I would probably tend to go with like an AR pistol, like I would with a Blackout. I would tend to favor similar things to a Blackout because that cartridge would be rad subsonic. I mean, for me, if I'm hunting with a subsonic thing, it's a close range thing anyway, generally speaking. I know some people are very pedantic about this, but generally speaking, close range, I think that'd be fine with like a 12-inch pistol. Again, this is without knowing what the ballistics prefer, because what we learned with 300 Blackout over the years is that it actually does really, really well out of very short barrels with the right twist rate. So we can only assume that that may be similar with the ARC. We don't know yet. Let's get another question, Izzy. Hey, look, there we go. AR-10 in 308 or bolt action in 308 for hunting. I think it really depends on what kind of hunting you're doing. You know, if you're trying to be more precise, if the gun needs to be lighter weight, it really depends on preferences, what's legal in your area. I would always favor semi-auto if the gun is accurate enough, but a lot of times those guns are not as accurate. Like a gas gun is typically not as accurate as bolt guns can be. So it really depends on what you're trying to hunt. So when you say for hunting, that's very, very broad because you could be hunting pigs, you could be hunting big game, you could be hiking deep into the wilderness. It's very hard to say. Is that a super chat? Izzy, look at that. We got a super chat. Hey, guys, that does help. You don't have to do that. You don't have to super chat or whatever, but you can. And we'll make sure that money goes to like a good cause or something, like Hold My Guns or GOA or Second Amendment Foundation. We'll make sure. We donate a ton of money to those guys anyway. This guy, Chris Ferguson, I'm going to pull that up. He said GunCon 2025 updates. No. How about that? That's a great answer to your question. Okay, this bag. No, seriously. Seriously, I am working very hard on getting a location. I found a range. I'm not going to tell you where it is. And I am trying to find now a convention center that will allow firearms because we cannot have a place that will not allow you guys to carry. That would be silly. Okay, so opening the front panel, this is the front, where that handle is. We've got more of this sort of meshy, I don't know what they call this. This is the Vertex stuff, but this is a great like admin pouch. You just, here's this knife again. Just throw that kind of stuff in there. I'm going to start setting this up. I'm going to I got a ton of stuff to put in here. That's where I would keep this. So I've got some charging cords, USB-C, little wall wart from Anchor, and that stuff fits perfectly in there and just whoop. And then I know where all my charging stuff is. It's very easy to access. And what's cool is I use an Apple laptop, and that can charge USB-C. My phone can charge USB-C. Just about everything else can charge USB-C. Okay, inside the bag, that's as low as it goes. However, we do go all the way down. So it folds about halfway, but we do go deep in the front here. I'm not sure what I'll keep down in there. This is a slick material, but here, up here is Velcro style. This is very stretchy. So these are like small, stretchy pockets. And that is where I would keep my business cards in one side so I don't lose them. And if I didn't want this on my person, this is my wallet, I would keep that in the other side, and then they're very easy to access. That's super cool. This is a tactical pen. This is like steel glass breaker. This is super cool. Titanium stuff on here. Okay. Samson Manufacturing gave me this as a bolt action pen. You've got the, make sure I move my fat hands. You can do that sort of thing with it. Okay, that'll go in one of those loops. Whoopity-doo. And then I'll also throw in this SOG multi-tool. And I have no preference of these brands. It just happens to be a thing I have in that. Like, this is not like, this is the best. I don't do that game. Okay, there's that. And then we've got that. This is actually a Smith & Wesson knife. It's covered in tape because I cut boxes open nonstop. And we'll see. Do we have space in the middle? Look at that. So we've now got a multi-tool. So you got to kind of, there's 2 layers of loop here. You kind of have to separate them. And I'm going to tuck that down in there. I may move that over. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to tuck that on the side. So again, this is just, I've got a multi-tool. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want it to tuck into this little pouch here. So I've got a multi-tool over here. I've got a knife right here. And I've got my pen here. So I've got that covered. And this is something super cool. This is, I believe they call this the Chicro. This is from Cloud Defensive, little pen light. This is something that I have found a lot of value in because it's not full tactical, ultra bright. And when you're just like, I don't know, looking for something you dropped under the seat in the car, this is far more appropriate than a huge, huge light. Let's see, where do I want that? I'm going to plop that right in there. Again, tuck the face away. I hope you guys can see this okay. There we go. We got that one tucked in there. And you know what? I'm pretty confident. Well, let's see what else we got in the, oh yeah. Just so we can show off all the stuff and things that you can fit in here. This is from Schrade. We actually did a promo on these, a deal of the week on these. These are super cool. These are actually really well built. And like, this is less than $100, I think, normally. Will that fit in one of these slots? It probably will fit. Over here, we're going to move that light. Yep, fits there, and then we'll move the light over here with the pen. Look at that. Look at all that stuff we got in there, right? Like easy access, right inside the top. That's super cool. I'm pretty pleased with that.
We got another super chat.
Oh, we got another super chat. You want to put it on screen for me, bro?
Bill, give me a second.
Okay. By the way, thank you guys for being here tonight. This is a lot of fun. I hope that we can get through a bunch of questions. And I'm going to be here for a while. This isn't like I'm going to be here for 5 minutes, set this up, and then I'm gone. I want to make sure we get through questions. Okay. So Desu Masuku 87. What the hell name is that? Sig Spear or Scar Heavy for the price out of the box used for first time 308 buyer. You are insane spending that much money for the first time. Saving up for it, but not sure which. Gonna save for the attachments and whatnot. I would probably go with the Scar in that opportunity because the Sig Spear is still relatively new-ish, and the Scar platform has had a lot of time to mature. And if you use the code TGC with Kinetic Development Group, you can get a discount on a bunch of Scar parts that they make that are really good and really like level that platform up. Okay. By the way, thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. That does help us sort of see through this sea of questions here. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
okay, we've got all kinds of stuff in the front. What were you saying, Izzy?
They're coming in hot and heavy.
I appreciate that.
We already have 120 just on YouTube alone. In terms of
thank you guys. You guys are excellent. Okay, so we've got the front. Again, this is kind of discreet, and we're going to figure this out. And I've got some more stuff to put in here. Unfortunately, because of YouTube's rules, I actually cannot handle a firearm on this live stream because it's live. If this was pre-recorded, I could, but because it's live, you cannot handle a live stream. They'll literally shut it off. I've seen it happen. So we're not going to do that. However, we will talk about where it will live in this setup. Okay, so we've got the front, we've got charging, we've got all our sort of daily needs, many, many edges and blades and pens and all that sort of stuff. And we're going to open up the inside of the bag. So this is where things keep getting interesting. So you can see this material here. This is, I don't know what they call it. It's just like Velcro type material. I'm not going to use their like names or whatever, but this is like a Velcro type material. So you can attach stuff here, and I will show you that. And also has this basically is a big old pocket too. So if you want to keep something in the main part behind this, I don't know what you would keep there. This is a very choose your own adventure kind of thing. And then let's see what this is. This is inside the bag. This is marketing materials. Oh yeah, bag and accessories. Just, suggestions on how to do this. And here's something that's really cool. See this up here? You see this? This is where something really neat can go. If I can grab it. A little panel. We'll just call it a panel so we don't get the stream shut down. People are going to be so mad about the way I open knives because I'm like an absolute amateur. Like, yo, you're not supposed to do it like that, man. I don't care. Okay. So this is the RM01. I'm trying to see what level this is. This is 3A. So we're just going to, I don't know if you're supposed to plop. I think you probably have to take this foam out, but we're just going to try and double it up. We're going to try and get that in there. Oh, yeah, there she blows. Will it fit? Will it fit? All the way? Izzy, will it fit?
I'm going to say yes.
That's what she said. All right, that's I don't know if that foam needs to come out of there. It might. I'm probably gonna have to do this all over again tomorrow once I fix it. Okay, so now we've got level 3A, and yes, this is supposed to close. I probably have to pull that foam out. I'm not gonna do it right now, but you have a 3A panel in the back. So if for whatever reason you need this, right there or on your back, that's neat. All right, let's get this zipped up. Izzy, why don't we take a few more questions?
Sure. What's your
from
opinion
the viewing audience?
I've had to scroll through this because they're coming in super fast.
Yeah, just grab stuff that stands out.
Just saw one. What's your opinion on staccatos?
Okay, we reviewed the Staccato P, and I thought it was a good gun. However, it's expensive, and they should put a freaking optic plate in the damn box. And more magazines. So you pay $2,500. I believe you get 2 mags, which is nonsense. And you have to then go spend another, I think, $150 on an optic plate for the optic of your choosing. Whereas brands like Walther and Glock and all these other brands are just putting plates in the box. I think Bull Armory puts plates in the box. And I think that's nonsense. My Staccato P is currently at Monsoon Tactical getting a little... Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Staccato's a good brand. They make good guns. They are just expensive. They're very proud of those guns.
Next question's up.
Okay. Dizope Action Big Facts. Yeah. Sorry. Is the TTI 3G Dracaris Gen 12 shotgun worth $5,000? No. That is a great shotgun. The Genesis 12 is an excellent shotgun. That particular model, I don't see why you would pay, I don't know what a base model costs. Izzy, can you pull up the Genesis website, Genesis Arms? Can you pull that up for yourself and just tell me what the base model of a complete gun is in terms of pricing? Because I suspect it's maybe a couple grand.
What's the name of the gun I'm looking for?
The Genesis Gen 12, I think it is. It's Genesis Arms is the name of the company.
Yep, I'm there. And
see if you can find a link to see if you can find something for a complete firearm and let me know what the pricing is.
And it's called the Gen 12 shotgun?
Yes, I believe so.
TTI JW4 Dracaris Gen 12 is $4,599.
Yeah, that's what this guy's talking about. What about a different one? Do they have a different one on there that's cheaper?
Oh, well, they have the Gen 2. Well, never mind. That's 500 more. They have the Gen 12. That's SBM. No, that's Yeah, at the SBM,
Oh,
10 and a half inch, and that's 2,900.
Yeah, see, that's more like it. That gun is excellent.
Yeah,
I would not
18 inches,
personally buy
28.
the what's that? Is he?
18 inches, 28.
Yeah, I would not buy the $5,000 version of that because the base model is so good. Okay, so we've got armor. You know what? Let's do some more questions. We're gonna take a break on the bag for 2 seconds. Also, shout out to Vertex. The code is TGC if you want to get Black Friday deals, and you punch in the code TGC. Now they have a code. This is always confusing for people. They have a code, but if you use our code, it reflects well on the channel. So I appreciate it when you do. It gets the same discount. Is the product? This is Quentin Simmons. What's up, Quentin? Is the Springfield Prodigy 4.25 comp worth it for $1,300? Yes, in my experience. The Prodigy was great. A comped version would be rad. Yeah, I think that totally. Let's get another one. Do we have another easy one? I see one here. I'm going to grab it.
Oh,
9x25 Dylan for self-defense. What's it like having a beard exclusively on your neck? Like, or I just 9x25 Dylan is a great cartridge. It's a great cartridge. Just shoot 9mm for self-defense. Don't put yourself in a weird spot. What do you think of the new Kimber 2K11? I just covered that on the news. Was that yesterday?
yes.
Shows me how much you watched the news. Thank you very much.
Indeed.
You know, I think that gun is pretty cool. I think their pricing is okay. I have yet to shoot one, so I can't tell you what it's like to shoot, but it might be okay. Kimber's quality control is spotty. I've never seen a 1911 rust faster than I saw Kimber do it. Now, that was probably 10 years ago, so they may have fixed it by now. But all right, what's the next one? We looked at that question. You already had that up.
Oh, all right. I'm just scrolling through here. Questions about Brandon Herrera.
I mean, I can try and address any of this stuff. I mean, Brandon has very little political experience, and if I'm not mistaken, he would have to be confirmed by some political, like Congress, or I don't know the process for ATF director, but I suspect they're probably less likely to pick a gun tuber that curses a shitload over some cop or something like that. I don't know. I think it would be amazing if Brandon got selected. However, I'm a little bit skeptical that it will happen. Do we have any others, Izzy?
Yeah, 9x25 Dylan.
I answered that one.
Okay, shutting up. Some comparing. Oh, thoughts on Car Arms coming out with a double stack finally?
What double stack?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Sorry. Also, it's super helpful, and again, the money, if you like use a super chat, we'll make sure that it gets donated to either Hold My Guns GOA or Second Amendment Foundation. We donate a bunch to them, but it does help Izzy see the question because there's a bunch. Also, thank you guys for watching and giving a crap tonight. This is great.
What made you decide to be a content creator?
I fell into it backwards. I've talked about this a whole bunch on different podcasts that I've been on. I never really set out to be, when I started being a content creator for a living was not a thing. It wasn't realistic. When I started making gun videos, it was 2011. I had a channel before TGC called Chaos 311 Clarity, Chaos 311 Clarity, whatever. It's still out there. Some of my first reviews are still on that channel. They're bad. Mm-hmm. I got better over time, but my first ones were terrible. And at the time, it was really just an exploration into, I thought I could do it better. I mean, my first video was a review on a Walther PK380. And I sat on my bed with a laptop camera and I stole Nut and Fancy's talking points and made a video. And It was my opinion, but it was just not a good video. The gun was not great either, but yeah, that's kind of how I got started. And then in 2015, we launched the Gun Collective, and I have been full-time since then. And Izzy came along in, what was it, 2016, Izzy?
The summer of 2016, yep.
Yeah. So Izzy's been with TGC for a long time. I've been doing it for 9 years full-time, almost like 9.5-ish. Where on the priorities list do you put thermal optics? 2 seconds. Really high. I have one right here.
Oh,
I have a few over there. I would grab these that have them. I think thermals are like a superpower. It's amazing. If you can afford it, go do it. This is actually this is a monocular. It's handheld. That's why I grabbed it. This is one of the most affordable ones. It's the AFO from Infrared. Goodness gracious, it's amazing. Night vision and thermals, amazing. I have a helmet that I'm trying to get set up for something like that, but I haven't made a decision on what to buy for that. But if you can do it, go do it. Good God. Okay. Do you think PSA will make a new version of the Spaz 12 shotgun? Also, do you think they will continue with their retro line? Did they come out and say that they're going to do a Spaz 12? I don't remember. I know they said they were doing like a hybrid 875-90 thing. I can't remember what they called it, like the 570 or I don't know. They were going to do a pump action. I know that, but it's probably unlikely for them to do the Spaz 12. I don't know if they would be able to get the licensing to do it because there's probably some patents on having the dual functionality of a pump action semi-auto. That would be interesting. I would love to see it. Unlikely right now, at least. In terms of the retro line, I'm sure they'll continue doing it as long as people keep buying it. Really, that's what drives this kind of stuff. Is like, what's easy to make? What do they make a lot of profit on? And what do people want? In that order. Okay. Any others? What Camarato? I don't remember what this is called. This is like Rhodesian. This is Camarato. I was wearing the Sea Smoke, the blue stuff, in the news yesterday, and this is a different color of it. This is a zip up. Sean has a bunch of stuff. I was trying to get him on here, but he's a bad friend and forgot his microphone. Okay, Randall Holscher. What are your thoughts on rotating barrel pistols like Grand Power and Beretta's PX4? They're fine. I don't necessarily think that there is a significant advantage to them. They're more complicated to make, and running suppressors on them becomes weird because, you start to get weird rotational force, and it can either over-tighten or loosen the suppressor if you're going to do that. I don't get very excited about it. I think they're fun, and it's a neat idea. But in terms of, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that's the unfortunate thing about questions like that is it depends. And that's I don't like leaving it at it depends. I don't own any. I'll put it that way. Top favorite rifles? These questions, guys, you got to do better than favorite rifles because these are very hard to answer. They're very difficult to answer. For example, I really like the Barrett M82A1. I like the Barrett M82A1 because it's ridiculous. It's an anti-material rifle, and I think it's a boatload of fun to shoot. Is it the most accurate? Absolutely not. But it's a lot of fun, and it's very expensive to shoot and own. If we're talking about like ARs, I really like Chad's stuff. I am struggling to remember Argos Ordnance. That's cool. Chad is a longtime friend of mine. The Lancer rifles. Nobody ever talks about Lancer rifles, but they're excellent. There's so many. The bolt actions. The new, what was really fun is the Daniel Defense versus Aero Precision test that we did. The Delta versus the Solus. We did a test on both of those in 6 Creedmoor. Both of them performed very, very well. And I'm happy with both. I'm happy with either one of them. I think I would have we kind of said at the end of that, it was like, we want a mix of both of these. Are you coming back to goals? This is a super chat. DJ Keiko. Thank you for that super chat. Really do appreciate that. Are you coming back to goals next year? Probably. Is goals announced? I don't know if they even announced the dates. I will probably be there. I'll say that. Probably. It was fun. Mahul Kamdar. What's up, dude? Forgive me on my pronunciation of some of these names. First of all, sometimes I do it on purpose. Any thoughts on why gun makers have gone to shorter length of pull rifles? I work for a retailer and find that I have to crouch into every new rifle being made. Blessed Thanksgiving to you. Also to you, Mahul. So I think the reason for that is it's easier to make it longer by adding spacers than it is to make it shorter for other people. That's probably why they're doing it. And there's been a trend to like more compact stuff, with ARs having generally a very, very short length of pull in comparison to some older bolt actions. You know, guys that are built like me, like I'm 6 foot tall. I'm a gorilla of a human. So I like a longer length of pull, but not every gun fits me that well. That's why I really like big, long shotguns for that same reason, because I feel more comfortable with them. All right, we got another one. Militant. That's a good name. That is a good name. What's your go-to pistol and caliber if a SHTF scenario jumped off? I would probably grab a 9 because I'm most proficient with 9mm. I shoot that the most of all the stuff. And I would probably grab one of these back here. I don't know that. I look over there and I go, I don't know which one I would grab first, because there's so many. The Echelon is up there. Honestly, the Echelon is one of my favorites to come out in the last 5 years. The Walther guns are great. I have a VP9 that's pretty cool set up. Arcane.
This is a quick one.
Okay. Is Adam ever going to do another video with you? Maybe a podcast style? One, I would love to have him on the podcast. Adam's very busy, and I am trying to convince him to come back at some point. And I'm making that vague on purpose because I just don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I want it to happen. I know you guys want it to happen. But Adam is very busy at his leadership role at the Second Amendment Foundation. You know, it's funny because when I met Adam, he was a waiter. He was like doing landscaping on the side. And now he's, and then he went to law school. and then he became, a big deal in the Second Amendment community. And now he's one of the leaders at the Second Amendment Foundations. I've known this guy for so long, and I would love to have him back on the channel. I would. Do you have carry insurance? I'm in the market for one. Absolutely no. I have yet to find one that covers all the things that I want. Some are better than others. I've seen companies, I've heard problems with all of them, and I don't feel that they're worth the money for me. I have a very, very good attorney friend, and that's what I would recommend, knowing a good Second Amendment friendly attorney in your area. But I don't know that those insurance things are worth what they charge. And we had one, I can't remember what Izzy, do you remember what that one was called that we promoted? It wasn't a carry insurance thing. It was slightly different.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head what it was called.
Firearms legal protection. That one was one of the better ones. But even now, I don't have one. And carrying every day, I don't feel like I need one. Okay, another question. Mossberg 940 tactical version, thoughts? I think tactical versions of shotguns are usually not set up for me. It's a good gun. 940 is great, especially the Jerry Mitchell edition. I don't like rifle sights on shotguns. I don't like it. I don't like it. No matter how many people try to tell me that I'm wrong, I want a bead sight on a shotgun. That's all I want. And they don't come typically on a tactical gun. It's rifle sights. That's really my only gripe. Otherwise, it's fine. What's a cursed gun idea you want to succeed? I want Metal Storm to come back. That's a shout out to old internet.
Wow.
Also, shout out to Ape Defense. Buy guns, not crack. I really appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me tonight. Let's keep moving on this bag because we paused on it, and I want to make sure that we get through it. Okay, so we were inside, right? And we've got some Velcro stuff here. We've got some down here. And then we've also got like layers of pouches. And what I would do, this is my laptop here, the one that I'm streaming on. That would go in here, right? That's what would go in this area. And then I would keep something in the front here, maybe like if I had my tablet, like, and when I say tablet, I mean like writing tablet. I carry one of those around sometimes. But for now, we got some First Form meat sticks.
Ooh.
Yeah. Izzy, I'll get you some. Do you want somebody? Do you want
Sure,
you want some meat sticks, fella?
You remember when you sent me that Christmas? Everybody doesn't
tell
know
the
this.
story. Tell the story.
So here, let me put this headphones so you can actually hear me. I can't remember which Christmas it was. Might have been 2 Christmases ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, but John, because I lived in Minnesota, but I grew up here in Pennsylvania. Here in Pennsylvania, we have something called Lebanon sweet bologna.
Yes, we do. Lebanon sweet bologna.
And it's awesome. And so John sent me some sweet bologna in the mail. Well, I thought it was just going to be like this simple package. No, it was 2 huge boxes. But the best part about it was the label. John,
it was like the Meat Master or something.
Yeah, so like Izzy loves meat logs.
Yes, that's what it was. Izzy loves meat logs. That's where I sent it. Okay. I want to give a special shout out to First Form because they're one of the few companies outside of the gun industry that is openly pro-gun. They came to GunCon this year, and I'm actually going to be working with them a little bit more, trying to get myself in better condition. But there's some of their meat sticks, and these are actually really, really good. Like, it's dense in size. Yeah, we'll just keep those in there for now. That's where those will live. Okay, we got some hand sanitizer, some mags, and 3D printed bin. All right. The other thing we're going to do, and I'll get into the rest of it. We'll go back in here in a second. I'm going to flip this around. Back here is what they are calling a CCW compartment. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, this is just pass through, right? I don't necessarily understand the pass through, like what you would do there, but there is a zipper. And okay, let's spin this around. On this side, over here, this side, inside there is Velcro, the same material that was inside. And you can stick a holster on this, and I'll show you the cool stuff that they make that will allow you to do that. So this stuff is called Tactigami, and it's all on their website. And yes, the TGC code works on this too. I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So you would then like have your pistol in this and then stick this inside. What in the world? I need help. I need an adult. So we got some holsters there. This is a mag carrier. And then they also do stuff like this. If I can, there we go. This is pretty cool. So if you want a little pouch specifically for something, like you're like, man, I wish I could keep my tiny little AR lower. You got some bungee cord in there or whatever that is, paracord. Put that in there, stick that. You know what? We're going to put it in the bag.
Looks like a cell phone holder.
Yeah, it could fit a tiny phone. My phone is gigantic, but you could do that. And it's on there, and then you have that pouch wherever you want, and it's also got the sticky stuff on the outside of it, so you could double that up if you wanted. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. That's cool.
Jason Osborne says, can it fit the laptop and the plate and still zip up? I would suggest.
Oh yeah. There's tons of room. So what you can't, because this is not like used a bunch, what you can't see is that like this is not it, like it'll puff out more. It's got some room for a spare tire. So the laptop would just sit in here, and then you got tons of room, and that panel's still in there, so it'd be fine. Let's see what other Tactigami. What is this? Stretch pocket. Oh, these are additional stretch pockets, which would be cool for something like these. What is this? The CC9 magazines. This is the HK CC9 mags, which I'm actually going to potentially carry in one of Vertex's. What is it? The SOCP sling bags. Yeah, that's cool. So you could have little backup shenanigans in the back. You know, you could set that up in such a way that it was comfortable for you. Then you could have all of your day-to-day gear right here, with the exception of one thing, which I don't have a small version. It's a med kit. I swear to Christ, go get one. Go get a med kit. We have a promo code at Medical Gear Outfitters. I think it's either TGC or TGC10. That's not the reason I'm telling you this. I'm telling you because this is what you'll need before you need that. Before you need a firearm, you'll need this. This is a very robust kit. This is almost overkill for most people. And day-to-day stuff, they make smaller ones. Tourniquet, oh my gosh, get a tourniquet. And yeah, from those guys, because we have a promo code. Yeah, so there.
Ryan Matthews asks, I'm not even scrolled down and I'm seeing this. It says, does the bottom of that bag expand for an SBR on that model? I would suggest yes.
Let's see.
It's got a folding adapter.
So take out the meat sticks. I mean, you can see, I'm going to try to hold this up. You could probably, like, it depends on what else you have in the bag. But I would have no problem shoving something that is folded in there. I don't necessarily get down with folded guns. Personally, I would prefer a full-size firearm, but I also travel differently than most. You know, I'm traveling in typically, I'm going to move this microphone so I can be centered up. I typically travel in a large van, like when I'm traveling long distances. And when I do that, I travel with a full-size defensive thing. By the way, this is awesome. Thank you for the questions, guys. Keep them rolling in. Izzy's going to try and grab as many. Somebody said the E30 is better than the E92. The E36 is better than both of them. E36 CSL, get wrecked. That's the one.
Oh, we just got a...
Sorry, I went on a car tangent there. Kevin Siegel. Is he related to Jason Siegel? Or what's it? Steven Seagal? Yeah, sure. We'll roll that in. In very general terms, how far are you from Blair County? I don't know where Blair County is. Is he? That's probably like northwest PA. I am approximately an hour outside the city of Philadelphia, if that helps you. And I live in Pennsylvania. Also, thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. What else we got here, Izzy?
Thoughts on
Alexander Conejo. Thoughts on GQ Armory, the Paladin 6-arc AR-15. Never heard of it. It's probably fine. Most are. However, there is something that people are unaware of with 6-arc. They break bolts, like the actual bolt inside the AR-15. I've heard stories, and it's spreading, that the walls of the bolt face are very, very thin for that cartridge and have broken. I don't know how widespread that issue is, but I have heard that story, so just be aware you may need a spare. James Grider, hopefully this will get through. We already answered this one.
Oh, all right.
It was the first question I touched.
Yeah, I was scrolling up because I got to the bottom and there wasn't...
That's okay.
There was another gentleman in here who went to... There it is.
Shane Unger. That is a Pennsylvania name if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
My dad and I went to the last Gun Con, and it was great to meet you. It was good to meet you, too. I apologize that I don't immediately recognize your name, but I do appreciate you guys being there. It's his birthday. Was hoping you could give him a scout out. Scout out. His name is Scott. Scott Unger. He turns 58 today. Hey, everybody in the chat, let's say happy birthday, Scott. Just slam it down there. Scott's awesome for being a part of GunCon last year. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm going to pull up the stool here. Ugh. I brought so much stuff down so you guys could see the bag.
Not sure if this is aluminum foil or not, but
Oh, okay. All right. Let's adjusticate. Hey, look, we're doing a little podcast. If you guys have not listened to the TGC podcast, I've had some amazing guests. The guy that is literally being considered for head of FBI was on my podcast. Like, what the hell is my life?
Ash Patel.
Right. Chris Sinclair, please address the industry neutering ammo so civilians can't easily find effective self-defense ammo, especially heavy for class. 180 grain, 40 Smith & Wesson, 147 grain plus P. Okay. I don't think the industry is intentionally doing that. I think they are making what sells. And I also don't think you need the difference between a 115 and a 147 in a self-defense scenario is not going to effing matter. It doesn't matter. Stop it. It doesn't matter. Carry a bullet that is barrier blind and penetrates as deep as you possibly can. There are bullets that are lighter than that do that. For example, the Lehigh Defense Extreme Defense bullet, Extreme Defender bullet, whatever, loaded by Underwood, is one of the best carry loads you can have. Unless you're talking about 380 and then you need the Extreme Penetrator. I have personally seen that go through every kind of barrier out there. And a lot of other ammunitions, like most other personal defense ammunitions, do not do that. Some do. It's very rare. Like the Critical Duty is mostly barrier blind. And I think one of the spear loads did okay with that when we were testing this a few years ago. But otherwise, like I've been carrying that Lehigh bullet as long as I can remember. I don't trust anything else based on what I've seen. Keith Decker wants an update on the Battle Wagon. Forgive me. The Battle Wagon is my van. For those that don't know, I'll give you an update. It's not great. I'm in the process of figuring out why it's not done. We've had some challenges in terms of timing, and I am trying to get that done. Apparently, we lost the connection to X, Izzy.
Really?
Yeah. We apparently never had it because I have to pay X money to go live.
No.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's fun.
Damn you, Elon.
Yeah, I hate it. So the van is going to be awesome. It's still in process. I cannot wait. No, I will not tell you where I keep the guns. That happens. Everybody asks, where are you keeping the guns? I'm not telling you. OPSEC, bro. Here's the 49. EDC update? Yeah, okay. I'm going to take that question, Izzy. It's towards the bottom here. Ragucav? Ragucav. Sure. I normally carry an HKVP9, and I am considering some others. I'm considering the HKCC9. I like it a lot. And I'm also considering a gun that is not released yet. I have yet to shoot it, but I put it in my hand and I went, "Oh, that's good." So I'm very fortunate that I can bounce around, but right now, typically I carry a VP9 just because that's what I've been carrying forever. There's no other reason, but it's almost like annoying to me, like a mechanic doesn't like working on their own cars. I talk about guns so often that I like my guns, the stuff that I carry every day is secondary. I picked one that I know I can shoot, and it takes a lot for me to update it. I messed around with the X Macro, and I still do like that. In fact, we've got one with a Mischief machine grip, and that's really good. I just haven't fully switched over to that or committed to anything else. Okay. Ito Horror. Okay. Cross-eye dominant, never trained rifle. Should I learn to shoot lefty from the beginning? Yes. If that is the way your eyes work out. Actually, one of the things you could do, and I am not a trainer, so I would speak to a trainer that knows. And I learned this actually from Sean, the guy that designed this camo. you can sort of trick your eye, like whatever. If you're left eye dominant and you want to shoot and you're like naturally right-handed, you can just put something over your left eye and sort of force your body to pick up on how to shoot right-handed. I've never tried it. I'm not cross-eye dominant, so unfortunately I don't have good life experience for that, but I do appreciate that question. Free the 1301. Is that like a Beretta 1301? That's okay. All right. Thanks for GunCon last year. No, thank you for giving a shit about GunCon. I really like you guys made GunCon possible. Shaking hands with each person was awesome. That is, I will say, for those that weren't there, when the before we open the doors, when there's a giant line of people, I think there was like 300 or 400 people in line this year. I go through and I make sure I shake every single hand. I say hi to every single person. It's very brief, but I think it's important for me to let you guys know that I actually give a shit that you're there. Like this is, yeah. No new details on 2025. I am working on it actively, like conversations about it. I am trying to make it happen in a very, very good location. It will very likely not be Iowa again. I'll say that. It will very likely not be Iowa. We have outgrown Brownells, and I am searching elsewhere. The range, we have a media only range day. I can explain that if somebody asks the question. I'll talk about why that's media only. But we don't have a ton of space in their warehouse because they have inventory in there. And we basically can't expand the event and can't grow the event into what it could be if we stay in Iowa. And there's also not that many people in Iowa. So we're going to bounce. And Brownells is still great. Like, no bad feelings with Brownells. But we just, in order to keep the event growing, that's what we had to do. Oh, goodness.
People are asking if you know what's up with Whitey from Four Guys Guns. I don't know why you.
Oh, my gosh. Whitey's such a good dude.
Yeah.
What do you mean, what's up with him? Did they say, like, specify? Or just hadn't heard?
No, I guess they're just asking.
Whitey's a great guy. He has sort of drifted into the marketing side of things for a few companies, content creation on behalf of a few companies, like high-end brands. He's very good at it. And I don't think Four Guys Guns is ever going to return. I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to Whitey in quite a while, but I loved his videos at the time, and I would love to see him come back. If he wanted to make a run at it, I would fully support him. But he's got a lot of other things going on. Okay. Neo Lexington. Who makes your favorite affordable semi-auto shotgun for hunting and skeet? Okay. Affordable is a malleable term. For me, affordable could mean like $1,500 in terms of semi-auto shotguns because I am a shotgun snob. I have found that those Turknellies, the Turkish Benelli clones, are actually, some of them are not bad. And I think they're like 600-ish, something like that. They're if you're really going budget, go there. I always recommend the A400. I mean, you could do the A300 from Beretta, but I say if you want the right one, you get the A400. That's what I say. The A400 Extreme, which I've got one sitting right over there, is one of my favorite shotguns of all time. Still, and it's been out for years. Let's see. We've got another quote. Keith Decker. Have you looked into doing videos with Demo Ranch, Brandon Herrera, Kentucky Ballistics, etc.? There's not really much to look into. I know those guys, but they have kind of drifted into a different arena, and they don't necessarily call me to go, hey dude, come on. And they say this when you're running a channel, you should work with channels about your size. And I don't do the same type of content that they do, so it's very unlikely that it would make a shitload of sense. I would love to have the support of my friends in larger scale. When it comes to like shout outs and that sort of stuff, we have done that over and over and over and over and over. We do it all the time. I used to do a segment called GunTuber of the Week. And a lot of the channels that have really blown up, and I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying, we noticed it early. We kind of gave them a kick in the pants very early in their life cycle. And, unfortunately, that is not as common because most of these guys are doing review type content and they don't get into stuff outside of that particular product. So it doesn't happen. I've gotten a shitload of support from my buddy Sean, and there have been, I'm not saying nobody has ever shouted me out or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but it's just not as common to see a news channel get a shout out. That's all. Jay Weth, what's up, homie? Good dude. You guys should go subscribe to his channel. How do you manage being true to yourself while also trying new products that may not be quote unquote your thing? This is a complicated one. Again, Jayweth has a channel that he's an up and coming guy, and he was at GunCon. Great guy. The Squad Drills guys are awesome. So when I had my first channel, I'm going to explain this. It's going to be a little bit longer. When I had my first channel, I got to a point where I was almost saying yes to try and get more guns to come in, right? Like I was doing the thing that I say you shouldn't do. And that's how I learned not to do it, right? I figured all the things that I say don't do this when I'm recommending stuff to or giving advice to newer channels. I've done it all. I've screwed up. I've done the things that I don't like, and I realize that I don't like them, and that they also don't work. The thing that I found, and I've sort of had roller coasters of emotions because I'm a person, and life happens, and I've had all kinds of life experiences since I started TGC. I mean, you guys have hopefully, the ones that have been around a while, have seen me go through the ringer in certain instances, especially 2017. Shout out to those people that were around back then. The way that I have found to stay true to myself is to just not give a shit what the companies think. These are my friends at these companies. So when I say, XYZ widget isn't good enough, I am telling them because they're my friend. I want the company to succeed most of the time. And when I get a product and it's not that good, it is almost annoying because a lot of times you should have known all these problems existed. Like my opinions, I don't think I live in a bubble. And I don't think the industry gets better by people not being what I would call aggressively honest. I would say that's kind of what I am, is aggressively honest. And I don't think the industry gets any better if people lie to manufacturers and the audience. The audience then doesn't know. I mean, look at how many times a new gun has come out, and there's always a few jerks that are like, here's a great example. The DD9 or the H9 from Daniel Defense. Oh, this is the flattest shooting gun ever. No, it's not. You're a dirty fucking liar. It's just not. It's a good, it's okay. It's a middle of the road gun, but to pretend like this is the best thing ever is a straight up lie. And I think it's only fair for people in a position like me that have been around in the industry for a while, that have a ton of experience, to say that. Because the industry doesn't get better with bullshit. It doesn't. Tap rack stovepipe. That is less than ideal of the scenario. That's a less than ideal thing to have happen. I just want to let you know, I've always appreciated your videos about manufacturers telling the truth. I have a horrible experience with Rock Island Armory /Arms Corps. I would like to share if possible. This is not necessarily the format for that. You could shoot me an email or a DM about it. This is not necessarily the format for that type of thing because it's probably a little bit more involved. I hate that you had a shitty experience, but, there are lots of them, unfortunately. I'm not saying with those companies. I'm just saying in general, lots of people have had shitty experiences. Somebody said, where is the list of stuff in that bag? Just go to vertex.com. It's vertx.com. The discount code is TGC. The bag is called the Urban Ghost 20 liter. It's the larger of the two. They have a sling bag. and there is the Tactigami. There's all kinds of stuff on their website, but I don't have a list of it. I didn't make a list because I don't even know what some of that stuff is. But I thought it was really cool for you guys to be there while we do that. Devin Reclaimed. What do you think of the Focus Trip stream drama? I desperately try to not be involved in drama such as that. I don't know what he said. I don't. I get it like second or third hand from some of my friends. I don't know what he said. It probably is not something I want to be in. It's not like it's a good thing because it's drama. It's a shame that people make bad decisions sometimes. I'm not perfect. I have screwed up many, many, many times in my life. And it's a shame when some of that stuff happens publicly. B. Martin. Good evening, everyone. I'm tuning in live from the United States Virgin Islands. B. Martin, nice. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Question, exclamation, question mark. What's your best mouse gun for a secondary backup? Is a mouse gun still a thing? I guess. I have an answer. That's the alarm. The best pocket gun, that's what I'll call it right now, that I have shot in recent times is the Bodyguard 2.0. The new 380 from Smith & Wesson. Holy shit, it's good. It's shockingly good. And I have a friend in the industry that is working on some accessories for it that would make it even cooler. But in terms of a tiny, tiny gun, that's what I would say to get. We got another super chat here. Thank you. Oh my gosh. The fact that you guys are out here with us and throwing cash in is amazing. And again, I've said this, we'll make sure it gets donated to a good cause. Brian Sunderhouse. There was a vid on can testing from manufacturers. Any movement on this? A follow-up video? What's your thoughts on the standardized score for cans? Okay. There was actually some drama that followed that. The guy that put it on tried to yell at me for putting it that was a collaboration. Sean from We Like Shooting / Dangerous Freedom, the guy that also designed Camerado. He went out there to this event for me where these guys were trying to create a standard for suppressor testing. And we covered it. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a neat concept. I have yet to hear anything else of it. We got yelled at. He was like, you put this out too soon and blah, 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 blah. I was like, bro, kiss my ass. We did this for free. For free. I came here to help you, not for you to yell at me. It's I don't work for you. I love it when manufacturers try to tell me what to do. I'm like, I don't work for you. Kiss my ass. I don't work for you. Favorite 22 lever gun. Looking to get one. Henry, probably. I've got a Henry Golden Boy from the 1,000-man shoot that I'll probably never shoot, but the Golden Boy is really, really a lot of fun. I would probably say if I was going to get a 22 rifle, I'd probably get a bolt gun. I kind of enjoy those more, especially with a suppressor. Just saying. Jason Bacon, shout out to Jason Bacon. Between him and Jason Osborne, I have known those dudes for 20 years. 20 years, homeboys. I'd throw tacos if I knew they would make it, and if I wouldn't eat them before they got tossed your way. That's for Izzy. Izzy loves tacos. Let's see. Pat, exclamation points with a target. That's neat. I don't know how you did that. In your opinion, what brand makes the most durable AR-15, most prone to be used and abused and still trust with your life with it? There's a ton. There's an absolute boatload of good AR-15s anymore. It's pretty hard to screw it up. It's especially if you keep the dust cover closed. If you're talking about the reliability between a piston and a DI gun, I'm not going to get into that. Some of my sort of top tier brands, I mentioned the Argos Ordnance earlier. I like LMT. I like the Lancer rifles, Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Who am I missing? I'm probably missing a whole bunch of companies. Like there are so many good AR-15s out there.
YHM makes great. I'm totally kidding.
YHM makes AR. I mean, there is a plethora of firearms back here in that category. Some better than others, but in terms of like reliability, it's rare these days to have one that doesn't work. That's a rarity.
True.
Okay, Jeremiah, are you serious? Is that your last name, Fosdick? I hope you pronounce that quickly. Fosdick. No, we're gonna say it like that. Fosdick. All right. SIG P226 X5 Legion or the CZ Shadow 2. Worried about an accidental drop fire. Dude, if you drop either one of those guns, you should be hit. Don't drop them. I think the Shadow 2 is probably pretty comfy in the hands. I haven't shot the X5 Legion, so I don't know. But the 226 they're both good guns. You just have to pick which one fits your hand better. I mean, I would postulate that you should also, if you're considering those, look at the DWX from Dan Wesson, which is amazing. Leonardo Strom, what are your thoughts on the Walther PDP-F 3.5 inch? I have yet to shoot that one. I have heard that it's excellent. I spoke with Mike from Tactical Considerations about it, and he said it was really good, and I very much trust his opinion on handguns, considering I've seen him shoot a lot, and yeah. Country Boy Guns, shout out to Country Boy Guns, great guy. What's your favorite AR grip, and why does it have a more vertical angle? I actually like ergo grips, the ones with like fit. I am the type of person that likes finger grooves, and a lot of people really, really don't. I have sausage fingers, meat paws, and they happen to fit that style of grip quite well. So if it has like a palm swell or something like that, some rubbery texture, I'm in. That's what I like on an AR-15. There are some that, like the plastic ones are fine. B5 Systems is awesome. Magpul makes some good ones. X-Tech Tactical, I have had those on a bunch. You can see one right above my head. That's X-Tech Tactical on Project Atrocious. It's great. I know not everyone likes IB8888, but their Argos Ordnance Uppers are awesome. I have two that are over 10,000 rounds and only needed to be cleaned 2 times. I told you it was good. I told you guys. Thank you for that testimony. Chad, first of all, Eric and Chad are part of the reason I have a career. They helped me very, very early on. And same with Tim and Plinkster and a couple other guys. Chad's rifle is great for an AR-15. Like, it's a great setup. Tenny's balls. Are you going to drop? Are you going to do a top 10 pistol/rifles video that released this year? No, I don't have any plans to do that because I haven't shot a lot of the guns that got released. We shot some of them, but I can't say like there is a bunch that I'm like super excited about. I don't know. I've considered doing content like that, and I struggle. With this because I find it to be like valueless. I don't think it adds anything. It's more like beating the crap out of something. I guess the flip side of that coin is not everybody can or wants to watch every episode of TGC News every week, which is what I would like them to do. And that's not because I want the views. It's because I don't want to have to repeat myself. Like it's a catch-22. Yeah. I probably won't do that. I think that's a great idea. I'll be fair. That's a good idea. Don't think I'll have the time to do it, especially if GunCon planning really like starts to ramp up. Like if I lock in the dates, I'm going to start working on GunCon, and that takes a lot of my effort. I'm on the phone from sunup to sundown selling that stuff to sponsors. Okay. Jayweth has another question. Is Thanksgiving just a festival of side dishes with a bird, or is the bird the prize? Related, what is your go-to Thanksgiving side dish? Okay.
Stuffing.
Is he like stuffing? I like Stouffer's.
Oh, yeah.
Stouffer's pretty good. I've yet to have a good homemade stuffing over the years. Just saying.
Ditto.
I am what you would call an emotional terrorist with ketchup, and ketchup goes on every side dish.
Mm.
I also think cranberry sauce is ridiculously terrible. I think it's awful.
Ditto.
Yeah, it's gross. Turkey's fine. I like dark meat, and the deep fried turkey is the best. Smoked turkey is very good. The problem with turkey is a lot of people just overcook it. That's why people don't like turkey, because it ends up overcooked, and then it's dry and not good. But when you get good turkey, like proper good turkey, it's out of this world.
Oh, Sean Zim, or I can't even pronounce this. Angel Saxo Night or whatever. Deviled eggs. I am a deviled egg whore. I loved eggs.
Yeah, everybody, Izzy is a deviled egg whore. Keith Decker, any experience with a belt-fed AR upper? I've shot one. I don't own one. I shot it at like a range day, probably the Iraq veteran range day, but I don't own one, and I don't intend to own one. Yeah, I know. I like dark meat. Tacker Snowpipe, gotta head out. Keep up the awesome. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. I did not expect this many people to stick with us this long. How long have we been going? Over an hour now. This is great. I am happy to stay here for a while and take more questions.
We have 161 just on YouTube.
What'd you say, Izzy?
There's 161 viewers just on YouTube alone.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. That's freaking rad. I'm definitely down to keep answering questions as long as you guys have them. Hope you won't mind a second question. We will not, Mahol. No, I will not mind that. I actually appreciate it. Should we work to get Trump to put suppressors on the National Instant Check System, aka sort of cash and carry backgrounds? Even Britain and Canada make them easy to buy. I would love to see it. I would love to see them removed from the NFA. I think if we have an opportunity, it is now. And this is why I said in a video not that long ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, right after the election, we need to push hard for gun rights right now. We need to be jumping in with GOA and Second Amendment Foundation and these other groups and pushing for rights. We need to be clamoring to get these rights back and on the books. Get the frickin' stuff off the NFA. Get the NFA dissolved if we can. I doubt it. But even suppressors coming off the NFA would be amazing. Amazing. Okay. Craig, aside from medical training, what's a type of training that is, in your opinion, often overlooked by the firearms community? Oh my gosh, I have a good answer. Okay. So, the one that it's not necessarily overlooked, it's just not done all that freaking often. The best, bar none, training that you can do with inside the firearms space is force-on-force training. Holy shit. You want to learn? You want to learn what you're going to do? Go do a force-on-force class. MTAC out in Indiana. There's one in Pittsburgh at the Ben Franklin range. They have a shoot house. There's shoot houses scattered around the country. Find a force-on-force class. They are not cheap. Go take one. Your eyes so open. Amazing, the things you learn. I'm going to tell you guys a story. I went to a class at MTAC not that long ago. I promoted it on the show, and not a ton of people came. That's okay. And we had a really fun time, and we were doing a scenario where somebody, like, you go into a convenience store, and then when you come out, you're supposed to just get in this car and deal with whatever happens. That's kind of how they present these things to you. So this, we come out, and I'm the passenger in this scenario. I go around the back of the car, and somebody comes around the corner and points a gun. And this is a simunition. It was a UTM gun. And they pointed that at my friend in this scenario. And they said, "Give me the keys, give me the effing keys, give me the keys." And I found out that I react not only quickly, but aggressively. I pulled out my UTM gun. Again, these are all UTM. It's a safe environment. Force on force is very, very focused on safety, usually. MTAC is great for this. I pulled out my gun, fired, and went, "Bitch, please," bang. Shot her right in the face.
Ouch.
I was like, oh, okay. I did not expect to say "bitch, please" before I shot somebody, but okay. That's a new thing I learned about myself. All right. I don't know that I would do that in a real scenario, but I was hyped up. In those things where something is going to go sideways, you get all kinds of hype.
New TGC t-shirt.
HB purchasing on purchasing on of these firearms. Which would you choose, Benelli M4 or the Daniel Defense V7? They are very different. I mean, what are you trying to do? Maybe he's trying to. Maybe that's for like home defense. Pistol is the best home defense gun in most scenarios because rifle rounds are going clean through your walls. Don't pretend like they're not. Just don't even pretend. And if you're using the right shotgun ammo, that is very likely to happen with shotgun ammo as well. It depends on your living situation. A pistol is usually the best option, preferably with a suppressor. But it really depends. If you live out in the country, grab a rifle. Like if you don't have a neighbor that you could put a round through the wall into their house, you're probably fine with a rifle, but just be aware of that penetration. Civilian Tactical is in the comments. Predictions: will belt-fed uppers get super popular if FRTs are made civilian legal permanently? No, they won't, because belt-fed uppers, at least the ones that I've seen, are horrendously expensive. Like we covered the cheap one yesterday on TGC News, and that was $5,000. Nobody's like, if you spend $5,000 on that just to have fun with an FRT, you can afford a machine gun. Machine guns on the cheap spectrum, like you can get machine guns probably still for like 10 G's, I think, on the low end, like a Mac or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like I haven't looked at. I don't shop for machine guns very often, but in terms of like an AR-15. I don't know. The binary triggers are a gimmick. FRTs are a gimmick. You're not using. If you're using that in a tactical scenario, things have gone horribly sideways for you, and you should train with it if you do. Apophis Dark One, or Dark One. Okay, sure. Have you ever thought about getting into long range? I saw you did the Woodchuck Olympics on Ultimate Reloader's channel. Yeah, I won. That was a lot of fun, by the way. That was amazing. It was such a fun experience. I love Gavin, known him for a long time. Really respect what Gavin does. I have shot, like we have done long range videos on TGC. Nobody watched them. We did them. We did the long range videos. We did the stuff where we, in fact, the video where I shot my play button, my 100,000 subscriber play button, I shot it at 1,000 yards. I did. We've done long range. I would love to do consistent long range stuff, like more of it, but nobody watches it. I don't like consistent numbers, like, looking at the numbers of like how many people would watch a given type of content on TGC. The long range rifle stuff just does not get the traction. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if I'm just like not making the right video to make that entertaining or what. I don't know. But we've tried, and I really enjoy long range shooting. I'm okay at it. I'm not great, but it's a lot of fun, but nobody watches on TGC, at least. Michael Eason, how much of an impact do you think Pam Bondi will have on the future of the 2A? Unknown. She sucks. Unknown. Really. Lumberjack 86. What are the top 3 problems you deal with that you hate as a gun enthusiast on YouTube? Love the channel, by the way. Thank you, Lumberjack. I appreciate you. Like anybody that watches all the time, like you guys are awesome. Top 3 problems. It's not really a big problem, but we get comments that are like polar opposites all the time. For example, 2 weeks ago, I said something about Matt Gaetz, and people got outraged that I didn't mention that. There was outrage in the comments that I didn't mention the fact that he was potentially a pedo. And then this week, I mentioned it, talking about the same guy, and I got told I was slandering him. It's not true, and all this. Like I get to a point where I'm just like, you guys suck. Some of these people that, especially the like hardcore Trumpers, the people that like Trump can do no wrong, you're a lunatic for thinking any politician can do no wrong. You're a lunatic. And I just, that gets frustrating. It grates on me sometimes, but generally speaking, we just laugh about it. I send screenshots of that nonsense to my friends, and we just laugh. I can't clone myself. That's a problem. I get burned out pretty easily. I've been doing this for a long time, and I get burned out pretty easily. And yeah, like I don't have a range at my house. Okay, there's 3 problems. I would love to have a range here, but it's like 35 minutes away. David Solomon, what are some of your favorite stores shopped or shops that you have patronized in southeastern Pennsylvania? I'm going to tell you where I started in the firearms industry. It's a place called the Sportsman Shop. They're now in East Earl. I think it's Blue Ball, East Earl, something like that. And the Keffers that own that place, they're awesome. That's where I got my start. They were in a town called New Holland. And I learned an enormous amount in there. I will never be able to like start over again. And I learned some of the basics of a type of hunting like in Amish country with like old fuds. And I was the guy that was like the new kid selling AR-15s. And I learned a lot. I once had an Amish guy. I'll tell you a story here. This will be good. Amish kid. I'm working there for like less than a month. It's November. This is like right before Sandy Hook. No, I started in September. I started in September. It was right before Sandy Hook, and kid comes in, Amish kid, and he goes, "What for sparklers you got?" And I went, "What? I'm sorry, we don't sell we don't sell fireworks. July had the 4th of July had already passed, and what for sparklers you got?" You know what he wanted is 209 shotgun primers for his muzzleloader. He called them sparklers. He goes, "Yeah, you call them primers." Oh God. But yeah, that's a great shop. There's a couple in the area that are decent. I'm not going to call them out because I don't have any shopping experience at them. I'm very thankful that I no longer have to go to a gun store. North Country Arms Room says, "Do you think transferable full auto guns are unobtainium? That's why FRT is a thing." No, I don't think they're unobtainium. I think you just kind of have to be aggressive with saving. The problem is people like when you think of a full auto transfer, like you can get a machine gun relatively affordably, and they are currently a decent investment. I don't know. I say make friends with somebody that has a machine gun. I have friends that have machine. I have lots of friends that have machine guns. This is great. If I ever wanted to shoot one, it's so expensive to shoot. That's the thing. Like you're just ripping through ammo. I don't know. I have shot. I am very spoiled. I know, I am well aware that I am jaded and spoiled in this instance. I have shot almost all of the cool machine guns out there. Like I've shot a lot of cool machine guns, a lot of them. I've shot a lot of really cool machine guns. Like one of one type stuff, right? And that has meant that I don't get that excited about stuff like that. I just don't. Go rent a machine gun if you really want to shoot machine guns. Okay. Jessica Simp, 44. If you have to choose at least one's transferable, we're on that topic. If we have to choose one, what would it be? Oh boy. Get a M16 lower, and then that way you can slap a bunch of stuff on it. That's the best one to get in terms of versatility, and you only have to have one. But like my favorite one was the UK 59, the belt fed 54R. That was amazing. One of the most visceral experiences I've ever had. That was cool. I've shot a lot. Again, I've shot a lot of really good. G36 is always cool. I shot a set trigger G3. We did a video on that a long time ago. That's a good question, though. Yeah, like there's so many good machine guns out there that are just like fun. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add to that. We have another one, Izzy?
It's like they're folks are not really. Come on, folks, give us your questions if you have any.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, slam them in there. I mean, I can just go on rants if you guys are into that. But it's supposed to be a two-way street. If you got a comment, you got a question, you want to talk about something, put it in the comments. If you disagree with me, put it in the comments. I'll just yell at you. That's Leonardo Strom. Thoughts on the Tippmann Gatling gun? Tippmann. It's okay. It's cool. Like it's. I think they're like 3 G's. They're like $3,000. I think something like that. They're not cheap. I might be way off, but they're not cheap, and it's a gimmick. This is fun, but it's a range toy, and you got to be aware of that. But otherwise, it's fun. Stuff like that's cool. I have a friend that had, well, it's a guy I used to work with. I haven't seen him in years. Had a 4570. No, maybe it's a 45 Colt. I can't remember. Like one of those big brass Gatling guns with the crank, the big wood, beautiful wood stand, the brass, like just this tower that you stack ammo into. Is amazing, right? So much fun to shoot. So much fun.
No,
the 9mm is just cool. All right, what do we got? Is 338 ARC going to survive? For a little bit. That's yet to be seen. I mean, the question about the 338 ARC, that was released, with a month ago at most. So we don't know. I mean, we now have 6 ARC, 22 ARC, 338 ARC. We've got 6.5 PRC, 7 PRC, 300 PRC, which I'm building a rifle in. And Hornady is just releasing a bunch of stuff just to see what sticks. The 22 ARC is basically the 224 Valkyrie done correctly. But again, that I believe the bolts might be an issue. I don't remember. They might be a thing on that. I have a 460. This is Jeremiah Fosdick. What a tragic last name again. I have a 460 Smith. Is the 500 a better shooter or just more recoil? I have heard, I don't have a ton of experience with the 460. I have heard that the 460 is actually a little bit more of a handful to shoot because it's a little bit more oomph, perhaps. I'm not positive. But people, like, if you talk to somebody that's serious about handgun hunting, they will go with a 460 over the 500 most of the time. Me, I like the 500. There's one right. There. That's a 500. And then there are 2 rifles chambered in 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum up on the wall. I like half-inch holes. That's what I like. Grunz 914. The SAR P8S seems to be a decent CZ75 clone. How come they don't offer a light rail? Because they're dumb. Sarsılmaz is a Turkish company, and you would think they make 8 bajillion guns, and they would offer a light rail. However, you also have to consider the fact that a lot of those guns that are being imported from Turkey were not originally designed for the American market. They're just being slapped into here because we buy a boatload of guns. So we're just kind of getting the leftovers. When you look at a CZ75 clone, there are a lot of options. I've heard what is that brand? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. There's others that are also good. I'll say that. Eric Hammond got here late. Do you have a favorite surplus rifle? No. Again, this is one of those I'm spoiled moments. I'm friends with Eric and Chad, and they have an amazing collection of surplus guns, and I've shot a lot of them. Like the Hakim stands out. The Egyptian Hakim stands out. I've shot some of the like old stuff out there that Eric had. I've shot some of Tim from Military Arms Channel. I shot a bunch of his surplus-y type stuff. I don't know that there's one that really is like stands out as like a favorite. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer. I don't shoot a lot of surplus stuff because it's not like high on my list of stuff that I care about. I know this is like a big thing. Like people love Ian and Forgotten Weapons, and they're like super into that. I'm just not. I'm not.
What was the rifle you guys shot the rust out of?
Oh shit! What was that? Was it a Mosin?
I think it might have been.
I think it was a Mosin. It was a Mosin that was basically rusted shut, and we shot all the rust out just to see what would happen. It was fine. I was hoping for a catastrophic failure. It didn't. Brotato says, thoughts on a first thermal scope for hunting? Okay. I'm looking at, there's 2 brands that I would consider. One of them sponsors us. One of them has sponsored us. AGM is one of them. They make some affordable stuff. Infrared and now Knock Picks. That's a new brand that they're releasing. I was told, so I talked to their marketing guy, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and he said the one from Knock Picks called the Slim can be used as a handheld. Like if you take it off the rifle, it has like a QD mount. So you can use it as a handheld, like monocular, and then you can put it on the rifle. And if you put it back in the same spot, in theory, it'll hold 0. That's pretty slick. I don't remember what the MSRP is on the top, like off the top of my head, but those are ones to consider. I would not buy cheap thermals. I would not waste your money on that stuff. I would buy like affordable ones. And when I say affordable, it's like, it's going to be not super cheap, but you kind of get what you pay for with thermals, unfortunately. Ever shot a gun you shot only once? Yeah. I shot a 500 A square. That belonged to Ray Vaughn, who has done a lot of stuff on the Iraq Vet channel. I shot that one time, and that was brutal on my shoulder. 500 A square is like a giant 500 Magnum. Very big. Yeah, I hurt. I shot a bunch that I've only ever shot once. I kind of went, whoa, I'm done, You know what? I'll tell you one that I shot one time. It was a gun we were going to review. It's the 429 or 629 PD, the Scandium frame 44 Magnum from Smith & Wesson. I shot one round, put it back in the box, and said, nope, I'm not doing this. It sucked. It was so bad to shoot. Sucked so hard to shoot. I literally called them. I was like, we're not doing this one. No thanks. It's scared to shit. Like, it hurts so bad to shoot because it was so lightweight. And I know people, you're a bitch. Yeah, okay, fine. Sure. I don't care.
Not all of us are, Scott.
I mean, you can build up a tolerance. That's what Scott's done. You build up a tolerance, you get used to it. But
yeah.
Anyway, David Solomon, knowing that ammo and component price availability is cyclic, do you foresee reloading components coming back to reality in both availability and cost? I do understand we will never get back to what it was. Thank you for adding that caveat at the end, David. Appreciate that. I agree. Come back to reality is possible, but there have been changes in terms of like lead manufacturing in, what is that component? I can't remember the name of it. Nitrocellulose. There's been some changes in the availability of that. So essentially, Ukraine and Russia need to knock it off.
Yeah.
And then we'll have stuff potentially come back down. Those two we need to stop sending money to the Ukraine and doing that. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get into foreign politics, but good Lord, we need to stop with whatever we're doing there. Mr. Kane or MR Kane, Mr. Kane, sure. Best new AR build to spend too much money on and upset my wife. I mean, if you're going to do that, go buy like an LMT or a Noveski or something silly. Sons of Liberty. I don't think their stuff's all that expensive. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you could spend a fortune on some of these, especially like special edition ones. Like the new Geisley one, I think it's like $6,000 for an AR. Okay, that's one way to do it. Craig, we can write legislators, help fund pro-gun lobbyists like GOA, SAF, and others. Go to rallies/events promoting firearms rights. But what else can one do to help keep and regain portions of our 2A rights? I have beat the shit out of this topic. I beat the shit out of it. The thing you need to do is get involved. Your time is how you push back. And whether that is having conversations with people that are slightly on the fence, or educating a group of new shooters, or having conversations with others. You could go start your own group. You could create a YouTube channel and start to grow there and gain a voice. And you could go spread the word locally. You could go talk to politicians. You could go to rallies. You can go get involved. Hand out flyers or whatever. There's like 8 million different ways you can do the grassroots that these groups need you to do. Do those efforts. Call the groups. They'll help. Hey, what do you need in whatever state I live in? They'll tell you what they need. And they may not be able to help in your area because some states are kind of screwed, but just that is your time is super, super valuable, especially if you're smart. If you're dumb, just go hand out flyers. Buy guns, not crack, also, right? Buy guns, not crack. Jason Bacon. What is a round that we were told would be the best thing ever and then faded into non-existence? Oh, 224 Valkyrie. 22 Nosler. Right. 30 Super Carry has just died. What else? I don't know. There's probably a bunch of others. 40 Smith & Wesson. I'm kidding. Country Boy Guns. If you had to pick a PCC for a bad gun, what would you go with? Okay.
Okay.
Matador Arms with a folding thing. Yeah, I think that thing's cool. I think that's what I would probably pick if I had to. Or that. That is a HKS P5. Biggest gun buy regret. I don't necessarily regret buying a lot of stuff because I learned every time I bought something that wasn't what I thought it would be, I didn't really regret it because I learned from it. The Walther PK380, I learned. I helped. That kind of got me going on reviews and stuff. And I didn't like that gun. I had a pair of SIG 556 and 522 with matching serial numbers. I regret selling those. I wish I still had them. They'd be worth a good chunk of money, but I don't necessarily regret buying a bunch of stuff. The thing is, I have been reviewing guns so long that I don't purchase a lot of firearms. I don't go and buy a lot of firearms. So the ones that I do buy are rad. Super freaking cool. They're like very special to me. Got another super chat. Ninja in Flannel. That's a good name. That's a good name. I heard you're based in PA. I am. You should come shoot night vision with us at URC. I believe that's University Rifle Club outside of Reading. It's the club where I film most of my channel. If that is University Rifle Club, I might do that because I believe they do shoots up there. I'm not super far from Reading.
Reading's north of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not super far. I bought my van in Reading.
Ah.
Yeah. Lumberjack 86, what is your top 5 weapons on the wall behind you? Don't do this to me, chat. Don't do this. Don't make me pick.
What are your favorite children?
Yeah, like don't make me pick. This one right here is first gun I ever bought with my own money. That's a 686 plus Smith & Wesson. 7-round 357 Magnum. That stupid thing up top that I can't point at. That's Project Atrocious. That's the dumbest AR-15 on the planet. That's cool. The Desert Eagle. That's cool. The 500 like I have guns back here that some of my closest friends at the time made for me. Like the 500 that I killed a pig with up there. You can't see up there. That is so special to me because my friend Eric and his father put it together for me. You know what I mean? Like these are the kinds of like I can't just pick. I can't just pick. Like there's so many cool. There's some junk back here. Let's be fair. Some fucking junk back there. But same time, some really, really amazing stuff. Like this. This Bull Armory is one of my favorite new handguns ever. This is so good. The TAC Pro. I can't. Oh, and then above that, that's a high point. And then there's another. That high point right there has my face on it. It's just wacky stuff. Neo Lexington. We all know the direction that YouTube is moving. How long until they ban all gun content altogether?
We've been asking that for years.
Years. This is not new. They have been moving the goalpost over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gotten better. It actually, there were some times where it was like, okay, they let up on some of the stuff. And it comes in waves and it goes, you know, there are some channels that do gun related content. I won't say they do gun videos because it's barely gun videos most of the time. They get great traction, but like, are they going to come down with like an axe and be like, you guys are done? I doubt it. There's a lot of money being made from them. Like there's the gun people represent a good chunk of the audience, more than I think they will let on. All right, This Friday, another super chat. Thank you. This Friday at 5 p.m. at University Rifle Club. That is a legit invite. You're talking about Black Friday?
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
I'm not driving to Reading on Black Friday. Next time. Shoot me an email, dude, and we'll see if we can do that. I think it'd be fun. I am weary about going to shoot with people I don't know, especially at night. I like to be able to trust the people around me that I'm shooting with, especially at night when I can't see what they're doing. Just saying.
Where can they find that email?
Mr. Kane. Mercane. I'm trying to give it some fun twist on that, and I can't. What tips do you have for taking new shooters to the range? Goodyear Pro 22s, suppressed 22 bolt action or single shot is a great way to get people started, especially with like a steel target if you can. Not everybody can shoot steel, but that is a great way to do it because they hear it hit. They get the, wow, you hit it. Oh my gosh. Lots of ear pro, low recoil. 22s are clearly the best. And it depends. If it's an adult, you may be able to shoot a 22 handgun or a 9mm. You could start with a 22 that day and then move up into some, higher recoiling thing if you wanted to. It really depends on the person you're taking. If it's a child, it's way different than an adult. And generally speaking, starting with a 22 with a can on it is the way. Facebook just nuked Smith & Wesson's account. That's bold. I mean, that's not new. I'm not like writing that off. That sucks for Smith & Wesson. However, I don't necessarily feel bad because they have nuked hundreds of other pages long before Smith & Wesson.
True.
And Smith & Wesson, in large part, has yet to make a public stand about anything pro-gun in recent years. So, okay, I like Smith & Wesson's guns. They make great guns. I called out the Bodyguard earlier in this stream. I get frustrated when big companies like that don't necessarily take a stand and say F you. I mean, this is gonna die, right? Like they're gonna say something, maybe it'll get reinstated. Facebook might. They may have violated terms. We don't know right now. So I don't necessarily feel bad. I feel bad for people like We Like Shooting who had like several 100,000 followers and just got nuked for no reason. I feel bad for them.
And years ago, remember when Hickok 45 got taken down?
Oh yeah, Hickok was that? No, that was YouTube.
Oh right, you're right.
YouTube got hit. Free the 1301. Thank you again for the super chat, guys. Super chats are freaking awesome. That's so cool. 460 Smith & Wesson isn't bad through a 10.5-inch barrel. Agreed. Anything through a 10.5-inch, like the ones that suck are the little ones. It's flat shooting at 150 yards. Yeah, because that thing's screaming. After a 460 and a 1301, need to stop sending super chats so I can buy a Ruger number 1 in 460. Hell yes. Ruger number 1 is super cool gun. It's a falling block style gun. If you don't know about it, you should know. They're cool. Lumberjack 86, not trying to get political because some people will take it there. What are you excited about for the upcoming year? I'm excited for GunCon. Working on that. I'm excited for new guns.
Everybody's asking what the location's going to be, and we're like,
I'm not going to tell you what the location is.
Not yet.
Yeah, you can ask all you want. I'm not going to tell you where GunCon is because it's not set in stone yet. So if I said something and I was wrong, you guys would probably be pretty pissed.
Big time.
Right? Like, we're just not going to do that. Let's see. So I'm excited about that. Excited about new guns. Excited to get out and travel with my van and the girl that I'm seeing. We're gonna do that. That'd be rad. It's still pretty new with she and I, so that's cool. And yeah, that sounds fun. I'm gonna go see some friends and do some amazing stuff. Shoot a bunch of guns. What'd you say, Izzy?
A lot of people were asking about the former.
Yeah.
Didn't know if you wanted to even bring that up.
A couple years ago. I've never talked about it on the channel, but it was a couple years ago, and it's not a thing anymore. It hasn't been for a few years. Let's take another question. Do you like the HKCC9? To see that from Josh Taylor. Yes, I do. I do. People called it a Taurus repeatedly, which is super weird. I don't think it's a Taurus. I think it's a good gun. In fact, it's sitting right there, and I'm considering carrying it. James Hall, any feelings on the best scope for a Marlin 356 for hunting? 336? I don't know what the 356 is. I don't know what that is, so I can't tell you the best scope. Go buy a reputable scope, and there's so many good brands anymore. Gideon has some, Swamp Fox has some, Loophole is a gold standard, Vortex. Crimson Trace actually has some. If you're going thermal, get a really good thermal. Like I'm staring at like a whole bunch. I don't know. There's so many. I probably missed one. So, what about this brand? Yeah, they also are probably fine. Excuse me. Aaron S. A hobbies. I think it's supposed to be any hobbies outside of shooting, sphere, and its ancillary interest, basket weaving. Okay, so this is another thing I've tried to talk about, and I would encourage some of you guys that like this longer form stuff to listen to our podcast, because I get into some of these conversations. It's usually me and a guest, but like this comes up. So hobbies, I currently try to unwind by playing like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies right now. I game from time to time. I like to travel. I geek out on, like, I have a 3D printer and I kind of enjoy some of that content. I consume some content. I am huge on comedy, but like in terms of hobbies, I don't really have a lot of time for like a full-fledged hobby because I'm not capable. I have realized this as I got older. I'm not capable of half-assing a hobby. So when I get into something, I full-ass it. For example, traveling. I spent a fortune on a van. And yeah, that's traveling is going to become a much bigger thing for me. And that channel too, the Battle Wagon channel. Neo Lexington, question of the night: does pineapple belong on pizza? I actually just answered this question on the State of the Second GOA podcast. Yes, pineapple on pizza is good, especially with ham. It's good. Anybody that says differently is an idiot. It's good. You can't just take pineapple out of a can and just pour it on a already cooked pizza and expect it to be good. It's got to be cooked in there. It's got to be, fresh pineapple. You got to do it right. But when it's done right, it's real good. Especially like a wood-fired oven. Izzy, can I get a hell yeah for a wood-fired oven?
Hell yeah.
See? I know. Izzy likes good food.
Some people are like hardcore about coal, but if
coal.
The crust tastes totally different.
I don't want to taste it.
Wood-fired, it's awesome.
Wood. Or gas. Hold on. C. Bartulfo. Ideal spring and buffer weight for a okay. Ideal spring and buffer weight for a 450 Bushmaster AR and carbine length gas. I have no effing clue.
I didn't think you would. I just figured out
that's a good question. I mean, it's good. Like Ben would know that answer. He'd probably say like a heavy buffer and a regular, whatever the regular spring is. Like that's probably a good place to start.
Especially with carbine gas length.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know anything about 450 Bushmaster operation. I don't know what like works best for that cartridge because I don't own one.
Right.
Country Boy Gun, speaking of the CC9, if HK USA made a pistol version of the MP7, would you want it in 4.6 or 5.7? I would want it in both. Haha. Sorry. I have a CMMG 4.6, and it was kind of fun. And I have 5.7s, and they're kind of fun. I think 5.7 is more prolific, so I think it would be smarter for them to do it in 5.7, especially calling it the MP7. I think it would be better. But I think they will want to do it in the 4.6, which is dumb. Like, I think that when you think about the market like of 5.7 has grown significantly with Ruger and PSA making significant impact on that. And therefore, people are making more ammo and it's getting more affordable and you're seeing it more available. So I think they should make it in 5.7. We got there eventually. Orly's here. Shout out to Orly. He helps us a shitload with GunCon, especially the live streams. So Orly is amazing. What up? Happy Thanksgiving, Izzy and John. Good to hear y'all's sweet, sweet voices. Yes, we appreciate you too, Orly. His name is Orlando, and he is a good freaking dude. Such
Big
a good
time.
dude. Helps like tremendous amounts of help. Okay, I thought you were done. Free the 1301. I thought you were done. You're a dirty, dirty liar. Pineapple on pizza. Refund my super chats and GunCon. Get fucked. No, I'm not doing that. First of all, I don't know how. I don't know how. Second, no, I'm not doing that. Aaron S. Favorite old school wrestler or tag team from the 90s? Ooh, I don't remember. What's the guys that used to do this? What is their name? The Bushwhackers, I think. Yeah, they were cool. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling. I didn't watch a lot.
I did when I was a kid, but that was like WWF way back when.
Yeah. I don't know.
Duggan, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, that kind of thing.
How about Razor Ramon, Jake the Snake? I don't remember any of the other names of these clowns. Like Ultimate Warrior was cool.
Yeah.
Who's the Macho Man? Macho Man was great.
Hell yeah.
Sure. There's a question from Iron Idjit. A couple down from the super chat, if you can see that.
Iron, I'm sorry. Where are you at? Oh, there it is. Sorry, my bad.
There, we found it. We got there eventually, across the finish line. All the way. Also, thank you guys for being a part of this. We'll probably start to wrap up in a couple minutes, probably like 10-ish. We've been at this for a couple hours. And quite frankly, my butt hurts from sitting on this stool, and I'm done. Iron Idjit, do you think the industry will ever standardize red dot patterns for optics? I fucking hope so. I hope your kids heard that, by the way. I really oh my gosh, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of these different patterns and different screws and thread pitches. And God, it's such a pain in the ass to have all this crap. And I have a drawer full of screws just to accommodate this stuff. And then we move it around. God forbid you move it from one pistol to another. You got to have a different plate. You got to have different screws. Are the screws too long? Are they too short? Do you get enough engagement in the threads? Do you need thread locker? Was it designed properly? Is there an actual plate? Do you need this? Do you need that? Why? Why do we have this garbage? Sorry. I love you guys. Quick question. I missed your overlanding channel. Can you tag it or say it again, please? It's the Battle Wagon, BATLWGN. Just look for that. Or you could, I think it's John Patton and the Battle Wagon. So you could probably type that in.
Yeah.
Or John Patton van, maybe. And you might get there. But it's a big yellow Sprinter van. That channel is not as active as I would like it to be because my van has been taking too damn long to build. Yeah. By the way, I don't think the audience is used to me cursing because you always censor it.
Yeah, I do. Oh, you're right.
It's very fun. It's fun for me because I curse like a sailor.
We all do.
Yeah. Okay. David Solomon. David is back. Glock being what it is, what are some of your favorite Glock clones that have come to the market over the years? Most of them suck or are boring. Most of them. The best Glock clones there are two brands. The PSA Dagger is excellent for what it is. Cheap gun. I shoot it great. I love that thing. And the Shadow Systems guns. They're also very, very good. And they're based around a Glock magazine. They're basically Glocks. They're fancy. And they would get upset if I said they're basically Glocks, but they're basically Glocks. Let's not kid ourselves. They're fancy. They're fancy Glocks because they're based around Glock technology or Glock old stuff, whatever. Yeah. So that's what the Shadow Systems and the Dagger. Yeah, excellent. Both of them. We got this is the amount of questions tonight. Absolutely amazing.
And now they've fizzled out again.
That's okay. I mean, we start wrapping this up.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of people saying they're checking out for the night anyway too.
Oh, that's great. Okay, we'll wrap it up then. I really, really do appreciate you guys being here. I thought it was a lot of fun. The code at Vertex, again, is TGC. Make sure you use that code. It is a big help. They do love to see you guys using that code. That bag, the Urban Ghost, is super cool, and I'm really excited to start using it. Orly just threw a question. In the spirit of Black Friday gift ideas, y'all got any easy one? Yeah, we have codes. Caldwell is on sale. If you go to their website and use the code TGCBF, you get 15% extra on top of their already 40%. An extra 15%. Last week it was Wheeler, and next week it will be another company, a company we've never promoted before. Is Gun Adjacent. I will say that adjacent. Yeah, those are good. The Vertex code is good, and our promo codes all over the place. We have so many codes. It's usually TGC10, by the way. Just if you're on like a gun-related website, just pop in TGC10 and see if it gets you a discount.
See what happens.
It might. It might. Give us the close. Somebody wants me to cut this off.
Oh, wow.
I don't know that it's going to work because of the way the live stream ends. Because what will happen is I'll just say a curse. Like this week, you guys missed what I said. I literally said it, and Izzy cut it in the middle on purpose. I said horrible things.
and just so people understand, I'm the one that does those crazy cuts. So don't blame it on John. It's all me.
Yeah. It's a tag team effort where I go, hey, just cut it somewhere here and make it hard. Just make it awful. Just run it right into a wall.
Make it hard, huh?
Oh, stop! Oh God! Oh God!
Jason Bacon says, "When will I get it? When will Izzy get
Gigoku? Thoughts on the new Gideon optics? They're pretty good so far. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, I don't know that we might have a code with Gideon. We might not. I don't know. I don't remember. Have we done a Gideon promo? Yeah.
I believe we have.
Pretty sure we did.
Let me check. I believe we did. Give me a second.
I can't keep it up in my brain. We've done so many over the years.
Gideon, we did it in 2023.
There you go. So, yeah, you could. There's probably a code. Do we have any other questions we can grab before? Hold on, I'm putting this on screen.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I'm looking for the code for Gideon.
That's for you guys. That's for you guys at home. Do you have any short barrel shotguns? Got a 590A1 SBS and love it. That's from Battlebean 762. Yes, I just bought one. I got the Fostech Origin 12. I've wanted one for years, and I bought it with my own money. I'm not doing a video on it. I'm not planning to do a video on it, I should say. And it is an SBS. Super excited about that because I put a suppressor on it.
Ads.
I think that's going to be it. We're just going to close her down. I really appreciate, again, I said this a bunch. I appreciate you guys being here. This is not something we're going to do all like regularly on this channel. If you want long form stuff, go find the podcast channel, subscribe there. That would be awesome. Otherwise, yeah, thank you. I hope you guys have a good holiday season, Thanksgiving. And we'll see you, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday when we do the news again.
Like an Addams Family. Like an Addams Family. They remember that movie a long time ago?
No.
No? Oh,
no.
Man, they did like this Thanksgiving thing where basically they did a song that was called Eat Me.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
You need culture, man.
Oh, jeez. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you. You great. You guys are great.